Alright, today I'm talking about coyote vocals and calling. A big misconception with people is if a coyote howls at you, you have to howl back. No, you do not. A big thing with using coyote vocals and calling is either people use them too much or they don't know how to use them, and it educates coyotes on that call frequency. Every call gives out a different frequency. Coyotes hear stuff a little different. They have 11 times better hearing than a domestic dog, so just keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to list out a calling sequence that I have been using. It's February 3rd, early breeding season here in Tennessee for female coyotes, and what has worked for me. Now, this will change anywhere you go. It may work, it may not. You're just trying to figure it out. But this is a good baseline if you want to try using vocals to, go out and try to get a breeding dog. The first 5 minutes, real quiet. Again, coyotes have a lot better hearing than you think. First 5 minutes, I'll do something different, like a, raccoon pup distress or jackrabbit distress. There's no jackrabbits here, but I'm doing it so quiet that if they're a couple hundred yards off, they're probably not going to hear it. What I'm trying to do is, if there's any bobcats, gray fox, red fox, or coyotes in that area, I just can't see them when I walk in. They may be just inside the wood line. You'll never know it. I had a big bobcat this year. My call was on for 3 seconds. 3 seconds, and all she had to do was pop out of the woods. She was right inside of it. The reason I do a distress on every stand that I do is if I howl or I do a fight, I'm usually going to spook off a bobcat, fox, something like that. I'm trying to get the big money fur in, like cats, and you can't do that if you're just using coyote vocals. Now, the first 5 minutes, and I do a 10-second break every minute of that 5 minutes. So 1 minute. Pause it, 10 seconds. Hit it back up. 2 minutes, pause it, 10 seconds. Kick it back up. Now, after the 5 minute mark, I'll wait about 2-3 minutes. I'll do a female invitation howl. Now, on your distresses, work quiet. Work quiet. Work to where you can't even hardly hear the call, and then work your way up. They have a lot better hearing than you think. But 5 minutes with a 2 to 3 minute break. Then I do a female invitation howl for about 40 seconds. It's totals out, depending on what invitation howl you do, is anywhere from 3 to 8 howls. It can be a short howl with a long howl combination. You get the point. It's a female long invitation howl. If I don't get a howl back, I'll wait about 5 minutes, maybe 10. If I get a howl back, wait 10 minutes. Don't howl back at them. Don't challenge them. Nothing. Wait 10 minutes of silence. You'd be surprised how curiosity kills a coyote. But 5 minute mark of distress, I use a 2 minute break. After that, female invitation howl. Give it about 5-10 minutes. What you're trying to do is you're trying to play out a scene. You don't want to overdo it. With it being breeding season, keep that in mind. After my howl and my break, I'll either do a breeding fight with Lucky Duck, breeding threesome, and Twisted Sisters is real good. All it is it's coyotes fighting over a female, right? 2 male dogs fighting over a, female dog in heat. I'll do that for about 3 or 4 minutes with about a 10-second break every minute. And that kind of breaks it up. If they stop, they're listening, they hear the pause, and then they hear it kick back up. Most of the time, that'll get them on their feet and get them moving. But after about 4 minutes of that breeding fight, I give it about a 2 minute break, 3 minute break. Always break in between any sound that you put out. After about the 3 minute mark, I'll do some female whimpers. Now with Lucky Duck, I don't know if it comes stuck. I got all my sounds from Rick over at verminatorpc.com. He puts his own sound packages on there. Great sounds, awesome. His YouTube is on The Last Stand on Lucky Duck. Him and Jeff, they're some coyote wizards. But with that breeding fight, I'll do some female whimpers after that to make it either seem like a female has got broken up from the 2 males, or she wants to be bred, can't find anybody because the 2 males have fought, yada, yada, yada. But I'll do female whimpers after the breeding fight. After about a minute, you need to break those whimpers up, though. It's just a constant whimper, whimper, whimper. A female coyote is not going to do that most of the time. Break them up. Give them space. But I'll do it for about a minute, 2 minutes, something like that. And then I'll do either 4 minute break, 5 minute break from that, kind of get them dogs interested. And I like to do a mom and pup serenade. After about 5 minutes, if I don't see anything, I don't hear anything, if you see a coyote coming in, do not change the sound. Don't change it. If they're on their feet and they're moving, don't change it. At this point, if you haven't seen any coyotes, mom and pup serenade. I do it, I think Lucky Duck's first big wave of mom and pup howls is about a minute long. I do the mom and pup serenade. Typically, most of the time, anything in the area will kick up. It'll sing back to you. If they do howl back, give it about 5, 6, 7 minutes. If they don't come in by then, I do a pup distress. What is it? Pup distress 9 and pup assault, I want to say, is ones I've been using lately. Cry, kick, and run ass. I think that's Rick's on the Lucky Duck Roughneck. Cry, kick, and run ass and cry baby crying has been awesome. I'll do a pup distress after that. Anywhere from 2 minutes to 6 minutes, depending on, how often I break it up, how many pauses I give in between. Again, I'm not working this sound loud. I'm working it quiet, like on 5. And I'm working my way up to 10 or 11, maybe even 12, depending on the wind and the area, how big it is, etc. After the pup distress, if I still don't see anything, nothing, I'm going to do a coyote fight, like Sig kicking ass, or what's another good one? Bully beatdown, that's a good one. Just check out a coyote fight, use it, try it, see what works. But I'll do the fight for 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, with a break. And right there, I'm about at the 35-minute mark. If I still don't see anything at all, I usually wait at least 10 minutes of silence after that fight is done. If you're about the 45-minute mark, you still ain't seen nothing, you ain't heard nothing, pack up, go to the next stand. You're hitting a lot of triggers there. You're hitting howls, you're hitting pup distress, you're hitting fights, you're hitting breeding fights. It's competitive. You're hitting food distress. Like, you're hitting a lot of triggers that usually any coyotes in the area, unless they are just that educated, they're going to come in. And at the 45-minute mark, after 10 minutes of silence, you haven't seen or heard anything, you're not going to. And you need to go ahead and pick up and move stands. But with vocals, do not overuse them. A lot of people think that if a coyote howls at you, you need to challenge them back. Wrong. You do not need to do that. You can if you know what you're doing. But a lot of people overuse them. Sometimes what I'll do with a female invitation howl, if I don't get any howls back from it, especially right now with it being competitive over females, I'll do a female invitation howl and I'll answer it with a pair interrogation. So that kind of plays into my scene that I'm trying to depict with my sounds. If I'm a young, alone female, I howl. 2 coyotes, 2 males howl back at me. Okay, I go check it out. They realize I'm a female dog in heat. They start fighting over me, right? And then I've got pups. I howl, they howl with me. You get the point. What I'm trying to say is I'm depicting a scene. If you're doing just off-the-wall, random sounds, a lot of times these educated dogs, you're going to ward them off. You're going to spook them and you're going to educate them. Just, if you can, try to depict a scene. Make a movie with the sounds that you're putting out there. That'll help a lot with trying to decide what sound you want next. What should I do next? What makes sense? Make a sound movie. And you'll be surprised at how many dogs you actually get to come in. But that's with vocals. That's what it's worked best for me. It doesn't work good for everybody else. It may work good for everybody else. I don't know. That's what works good for me. I know a lot of these guys, they don't really break down their calling sequences or why they do what they do. That's what's worked best for me. And yeah, so if it helps you, let me know. If it doesn't help you, let me know. And I'll try to combobulate something that works for y'all. So as always, y'all be cool, drink your beer, stay classy, and stay violent. I'll see y'all next time.